Sija natoka Tera, asija akanifukuza kazi. Unaitwa nani?
Farhat.
Kampuni gani?
Zanzibar Insurance. Zanzibar Insurance.
Zanzibar. Nyie ndo wenyeji.
Zanzibar Insurance.
Ungekuwa umeundwa saa, wewe ungekuwa saa brand gani?
Ningekuwa?
Umeundwa saa. Ungekuwa saa brand gani?
I don't know.
Mbona umevaa saa nzuri? Rolex from Geneva. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to take this opportunity to invite my co-host, Hodhan, to come and introduce the new team to take the podium. Makofi mengi kwa Hodhan. Karibu. Makofi mengi kwa Hodhan. Karibu.
I trust you enjoyed your tea and some refreshing conversation. Let us now reconvene and continue with exciting sessions lined up this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to invite our moderator, Hafsa Nsekela. For our first panel session to the stage and take us through this important session. Please join me to welcome her to the stage. Please join me to welcome her to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, everyone. A warm welcome to all of you to our very first panel session of the day. We are here today for a vital conversation, which is bridging protection, access, and trust gaps in insurance. According to Ernst & Young, 2025 Global Insurance Outlook highlights innovation-led growth through data and technology is a key strategy for insurance worldwide, a trend relevant to Tanzania. And as Tanzanian insurance professionals, we have a unique opportunity to ensure that this growth is both inclusive and foundational. With a total asset exceeding 2.4 trillion as at June this year, and with ambitious national initiatives like universal health and agricultural insurance on the horizon, the potential is immense. But potential is not, and the focus of this panel is to convert that potential into a tangible security for every Tanzanian. So in this panel, we will explore closing the protection gap by creating products for emerging risk and underserved communities, expanding access by embedded insurance into ecosystems where people live and work, and most crucially, building public trust by shifting our focus from simply selling products to genuinely understanding and serving the customer needs. So how do we turn these strategic plans into meaningful protections? That is the central question for our esteemed panelists today, and I'll take this opportunity to welcome them as follows. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Nelson Rihula from Newton Insurance Company, Managing Director. Mr. Nelson was appointed back in January 2024, and after serving twice as acting MD, has led the company's rebranding, driving growth and profitability and innovation. Welcome, Mr. Newton. Secondly, I'd like to welcome Dr. Anselmi Moshi and Strategy.
Lastly, I'd like to welcome Mr. Ravi Shah, CEO of Reliance Insurance, who holds a postgraduate diploma in business. One of the premier business management schools in India and is a fellow of Insurance Institute of India. Welcome. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Viability of the pricing between consumers and insurers. All of those, unfortunately, they are practical. Those are the actual issues which are there. Probably I try to explain some and see how, maybe I'll mention how at Newton we have been trying to solve some of those issues because we do a lot of crop insurance, agriculture insurance, both crop and livestock. So the one issue of the bottleneck is the actual capacity. I do understand there is a lot of work which TIRA, the regulator, has done to ensure that the actual profession as it is grows in the market. And when you look maybe 4 or 5 years back in the days, you wouldn't see such much involvement in actuaries and insurance companies, other than maybe life and medical. But when you look at the general, including agric, there's not much involvement. So, and also when you look at the number of universities now which are producing candidates or graduates from actuarial or actuarial science has increased significantly. But still we have that problem on why we have now so many people who are educated, who are trained in actuarial, but we still have that low capacity in the industry. So I think we need now to bridge. I think the problem might be now the trainings which these actuaries are being given after university. How much insurance companies is investing in the practical training to the actuarial profession as well, which is a problem, we say. There are very few insurance companies who are actually investing in that. But again, as we know that agriculture insurance, it has, the pricing of agriculture, it is data intensive. So you need to have at least 15 years worth of data. And with that, and that data is not only, a blanket data. You need to have data, PACO, data, by ecological zone. And that's a lot of data. And obviously, only actuarial professionals can assist us in processing that data and come with pricing. But again, if we even go to actually processing the data, getting the data also is a problem. It's a problem in the industry. So as an industry, we don't have a bank of data, and also we cannot keep this data very available for the Ministry of Agriculture. So you need to have to go and buy this data somewhere else when it comes to pricing, because we factor that pricing for that cost.
Quite incentive in terms of what goes into actually pricing agricultural products. Thank you. Moving to public perception and the value of brokers, Dr. Sami, mature markets have successfully positioned brokers as long-term risk partners. What lessons from these markets could be adapted to Tanzania's context? And what local and global partnership would accelerate this shift?
Thank you, Madam Moderator. So, first I thank God for the opportunity for us meeting here today, and the organizers who thought that I could contribute in this dialogue. And also I want to thank the participants. I think this is the brokers forum that has had the most attendance, more than 300 participants, and majority being brokers. So I think we should congratulate ourselves, but also I congratulate you for supporting Simba in your red and white.
This is maroon.
So yesterday evening, this is outside of the question, by the way, I was asked by two different questions. Do you guys in the industry observe the erosion of professionalism and its effect on the long-term performance of the industry and the impact to the new generation who are coming into our market? So I want to throw this question to the audience, and I would like us to have a dialogue at some point, because there are practices which are ongoing in the market at the moment, and there is a huge group of new generation that is coming into the market, and they are taking this as the standard practice. So taking that impact on that. As brokers, there are a lot of lessons that we can bring back home from global markets as how a broker can be a partner. And I would like to relate
there, so don't take that route. So a broker is that navigator to the...
Then you have a navigator. Right? So the navigator look outside at the weather, the stars, look at the chart, tell the captain that there is an iceberg here, there is a rock there, so don't
% reduction of cyber-related loss in the global market, globally. 30% reduction. This is how reading and understanding the numbers, looking at the data and provide advice that helps the market benefit, not only the underwriters. This benefit goes up to concessionaires if it is done well by the intermediaries. The other facet of lesson is on the growth of the ecosystem. In India, there is a brokerage that is known as Jeevan Suraksha, introduced a multi-level marketing. Some people refer to it as network marketing. These are two different separate things. But this broker, with this new model in the ecosystem, had 17,000 agents selling insurance across India. 17,000 agents. Do you know how many agents we have in our market today? 1,400, right? Around there. But this is just one broker. Introduced a new structure in the market, and that one broker had 17,000 insurance agents, increasing penetration, bringing more volume and new players in the insurance ecosystem. But again, look at transferring strategic value. And here I will want to give an example of reinsurers, right? So we are approaching the reinsurance renewal seasons. Now we know this year, globally, there is excess capital in the reinsurance market, right? So last year, the global market closed with a capacity of about 760 billion US dollars. This year, mid-year, there is capacity of 720 billion US dollars. Now, we expect the reinsurance broker will transfer the benefit of this capital to the underwriters by bringing better rates and better terms. Now, the question to the underwriter is, are we using our brokers, reinsurance brokers, appropriately to receive or to transfer and extract these benefits that is available by using their skills and their access, solutions, designing the products differently? You might be surprised sometimes you have insurer with the same terms and conditions of reinsurance for 5 years consecutively, while there have been different cycles in the reinsurance market. Why? So. Then there is what we can learn about collaborating with regulators. So we know how it is in a market. The brokers have had, challenges with the regulators, issues of commissions, issues of, direct premium payments, issues of bank assurance, and etc. Right? But in market like Singapore and Philippines, for example, you have brokers working hand with regulators to reduce compliance. And the regulatory authority of Singapore records a 20% reduction in administrative cost by virtue of a good collaboration between the broker and the regulator, right? So that reduction in cost is creation of new value, but also bringing into the market new products through sandboxes and the like. The final two key lessons that I want to share is on specialization and training. Brokers have to bring specialization and skills that you were asking Nelson just briefly. If you want to be master of all, you become master of none, right? So we expect brokers to specialize in particular areas. You see the likes of Eka Africa, for example, in our market, specializing in agriculture insurance. And then we want to see brokers specializing in liability, in oil and gas, all this kind, aviation, and et cetera, so that we can have that unique skill that is required in the market to enhance the risk values that is being transacted. And the final one is collaboration. Now, the challenge is, usually with small brokers, ukimwambia mtu let's collaborate, asema huyu anataka kuiba biashara zangu, si ndio? But we learn different from the giants, right? You see Sanlam and Allianz joining, right? You see MIC working with Marsh, et cetera, you can mention. The giants are joining hands, but the small brokers, they work in isolation. And this make it very easy for them to be exploited and their business to be taken. They become vulnerable, so to speak. There is this Ashanti saying, which I like to quote. They say, when the spiders join hands, their cobwebs can tie down a lion. So these small brokers, medium-sized brokers, collaboration, even between small broker and a large broker, can create capacity and synergies in the market that can transform this market into growth that can never be expected to happen. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. With that insight on public perception and value for the brokers, I can move now to building public trust in insurance with a question to Mr. Ravi. The low level of financial literacy is a well-known reason for low insurance penetration. But when 72% of Tanzanian adults use mobile money, according to the FinScope report, is the real issue product complexity or poor customer journeys or poor product design?
Yeah. So you see this is a very interesting question. It also relates to the lack of penetration, because in every conference for the last 5-10 years I've been listening that the penetration level is 2% and all that. Where is the fault line? The fault line is, as you said, internet gives you a vast capacity of reach. Likes of Uber, which have disrupted, are now present because of the internet connectivity. See, what has happened in the insurance industry, they are formidably conservative. And what I believe is the very fundamentals of insurance and very pillars of insurance on the basis of which insurance contract have been formed, have been challenged. And unless we demolish them, the vast potential of this digital transformation, internet reach will not be there. I give you a certain example. Ask any underwriter for fire insurance, he will say, I will never accept first loss policies. But if you want a very simple design digital policy to flow through, you need to have cover which is based on first loss. Second is, suppose you have a 5-year, 10-year life policy. You have exclusion of existing disease. Now, mass data underwriting can tell you that just by actually writing that piece, you can exclude the possibility of having that, pre-existing disease, which is in life and is also in health. And when you're looking at mass, the underwriting basis is far more. But the other thing which I believe is the biggest constraint for the industry as a whole is that the question which has been raised by agriculture is about capital. Why is not capital flowing in? Why is there is an adequacy of capital? Agriculture cannot be done without adequate capital flow. So here is the point. Now you look at concepts which have been introduced, and I'm sure our UN representative would like to, for Africa as a whole, to address those issues. ESG. Now ESG has brought that farmers in Tabora cannot insure tobacco because it's under ESG, this thing. Second issue is IFRS 19. Now IFRS 19 is basically for the investors. And where we need a huge capital inflow here, IFRS 19, if you will see in agriculture, and they say that the losses are there, reinsurance after reinsurance after reinsurer will refuse and has refused and is refusing, I cannot give coverage. Now, what's the solution? The solution is regional solution, where you can, like say, Africa, we can build up together capacities. And we need this. If you ask any of the insurance and reinsurance company, the excessive regulation, there's a sustainability, there's all these structures which have come through. Really, if you want to reach through the millions, and this is one reason where in the entire globe, insurance, you haven't seen a disruption, because this requires not one player. It's like an orchestra, where the reinsurers have to come together, regulators have to come together, the insurance have to come together, and distribution. Just for example, I say, you got to learn a lot from the other industries. For example, one of the most famous distributor, and he captured a big he was distributing Amazon product. So what he found was, if an ex-farmer has to be delivered a good, How can he reach his house? So what he would do is that market there where people will congregate, they selected it. Now you see, if you have a mass-based product, churches can be involved. There's congregation, mosques can be involved. You know, you need to think out of the box. Otherwise, every year, you'll be talking about 2%, 3%, and you know, we are not able to break the logjam for, as you say, when you need a thrust to get out of the gravity.
Yes.
So I think we all have to get together to beat the gravity. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ravi. I think thinking out of the box is imperative for the Tanzanian insurance industry. With the few insights gained here, I would like to open the floor to the rest of the delegates for any questions. Any questions? Or I can continue asking my panelists. Yes? There's a question here.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My question is on agriculture. I've heard the panelists talking about scarcity of actuarial skills. My question is this. Is this the main problem facing agriculture insurance? Or if we had actuarial skills, would have solved this problem? We don't talk about agronomists. So our mind is so much into premium than into understanding the risk. Who understands the risk better, agriculture risk? An actuary or an agronomist? So I think we need to touch the right button. That's my humble submission.
Thank you, Mr. Amani. Any other question from the floor? Mmeshiba chai au mnaumwa njaa? Yes.
Thank you, Afsa. Thanks to the panelists for, very informative submissions they've shared. Mine is on the issue of reducing cost through collaboration, specialization among brokers, and collaboration among brokers, as Dr. Anselmi had shared. What would be the role of the self-regulatory bodies with the likes of TIBA in ensuring that there is, proper collaboration between players and regulators to reduce cost? How would TIBA play a role in ensuring that there are brokers that, are supported in their areas of specialization, the likes of ECA Africa, but we also have brokers that are fully dedicated to doing, say, Takaful. And again, lastly, do you really see brokers in this market, or do we even have examples of brokers, who have really worked on working together in, getting, say, a product into the market or something like that?
Thank you, Mari. One last question from the floor before Yes.
Good afternoon. My name is Juma Mbega from Assemble Insurance. My question, it's not so much of a question, it's just a general view. I just wanted to hear from the panelists because I really appreciate your highlights on protection, access, and trust gaps. As from my understanding, I know that trust gaps, it all comes from the issue of protection and access. If the end consumers are not able to access and being able to be protected, eventually they cannot trust the insurance companies. So I just wanted to understand how can these gaps be closed through the integration or collaboration of brokers and insurance companies as well. Thank you.
Thank you. We have one last question from Mr. Kiwanda. Mike, please.
Okay, thank you, Madam Moderator. And mine will be, is not directed for specific panelists, but rather it's a general. Probably from your perspective, do you think these three gaps that are the subject of this panel, meaning protection, access, and trust gaps, do you think there's any interrelation between the three type of gaps? Thank you.
Thank you. Proceed with answering the questions posed. Mr. Nelson, you can take it away.
Thank you very much for the question. Actually, you have raised a very important skill in agriculture, which is agronomist, which is very important in agriculture. And I think, like other insurance products, there's no one solution fits it all. There are many issues which are affecting in the general value chain of agriculture, insurance or agriculture chain. So actuarial a big one, and I said actuarial because I think Ravi said when you go to the reinsurers, there are very few reinsurers who will take agriculture risk. One being the ESG limitations. Number two, being that they don't think you as an insurer, you understand your risk, which is very key to the reinsurer. And how do you make the reinsurer know that you understand your risk? How do you understand your risk when it comes to pricing of your book? You need, first of all, to have the data that, when you look, let's take an example of tobacco. In Zimbabwe, tobacco is, the pricing or the rate of tobacco is not less than 7%. It's 7% to 14%, depending on, look at normal mkulima. Well, normal mkulima afford a 7% rate or insurance premium rate. No, they won't. But it doesn't mean that we have the same conditions as Zimbabwe, that you should be charged the same rate as Zimbabwe. Now, for you to convince your partners, you need to show them through your data that I'm having better yields in my agriculture, in my crops, than Zimbabwe. And how do you show that? It means you need to have your data, you need to have your actuaries to work on that data and provide your basis for whatever rate which you're trying to offer. But again, agronomy is very key because the way agriculture is, it's not, you know, for normal insurance covers, you sell today your motor insurance, and then you wait until they renew until when the claim occurs. But agriculture is very different. You sell your today, but you expect that you'll be monitoring that across every day until the season is finished or when the harvest has been done. And who does that? Those are agronomists, which the skills which you have mentioned. They're very key
people. And the good thing is we have many agronomists, but again, now comes to the relevance of their skills to the insurance or to the crop insurance. Are we training them? Are we taking the agronomists back to the insurance knowledge so that they understand whatever we're trying to sell? But again, there are other critical things. The normal one being awareness. If you are now unable to sell, because for now, when you go to a well-educated person and they have a very big house, 300 million, 500 million.
Rise from Mr. Ahmad, yes. Please, Mr. Anselmi, the next question.
So, thank you, Mari, for the question on the role of self-regulatory organizations. And the self-regulatory organizations are a key pillar of professionalism and ethics in any insurance market, but fundamental advocates for development of the industry, healthy development of the industry without putting in front interests of particular groups or particular companies. But the challenge that we have is our SROs, unfortunately, they are more reactive rather than proactive. We do wait for things to happen and then we act to address those issues which have happened. I don't know if my colleagues from ATI can tell us if they have a strategic plan. Does ATI have a strategic plan? The ATI, strategic plan. Do you have like a strategic plan, 5 years, 10 years? For ATI. For ATI. Yeah, the vice chair is here and the chair lady is here. So you have a strategic plan? Yeah, that's wonderful. TIBA, we don't have a strategic plan, right? And I think also the agents don't have a strategic plan. So as we react to things which happen, instead of going to, for example, with an agenda that, for this year, these are the things that we are going to do, and we want our fraternity to be supported in these areas. And in that way, you preempt the challenges. Maybe the commission will never have been reduced, you never know. But the point is that shift needs to happen to strengthen the existing constitutions of the SROs, to give the SROs more power, more mandate to sanctions those who go against the fundamental professional and ethical standard of insurance. And this will reduce significant interruption or interference the authority in the business space, creating a more harmonious environment. Examples of brokers working together, I have seen brokers trying to work together. At one point I've seen my brother looking partnership to do the Hifadhi Biashara product. We at Clavia, we have worked with various brokers. Recently we had a joint venture with Aris, for example. We also work with bank assurers to design products, but also deliver products. But the challenge that exists at the moment is you don't have intellectual property rights protection framework. So bring a product, you can just change a few words on it and replicate it, which kills the spirit of innovation and collaboration. You go in the beginning to, say, a bank, and then a bank decides to go to a writer with the same concept, right? And product come to the market. So that kills the spirit and the drive for innovation. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Mr. Ravi, if you can answer the question for how collaborators for insurance from Assemble. Yes.
Yeah, there were two questions. One was on the trust deficit also. See, one of the things we have observed is that we think we know what a rural customer, even 65% of the population is involved in agriculture. We know about them. Or for example, what we know, what cover they require. Many times we give them what is like a buffet. We don't give him a la carte option. You know, in the buffet, every price gets fixed in. Second thing is that how do you distribute is also an issue. For example, one of the strategies I discussed with some of the IT companies was that at the time of sale of, there's a lot of bodas and they do get a lot of accidents. At the time of sale itself, if there's personal accident at a minimal, the cover could be not very high, but all the hospitals could be integrated on that. And nowadays, you can provide the cards which can be accepted across. We are not thinking in terms of how to reach, how to assess. I give you one practical example. In a desert area in India, we were selling personal accident. A farmer cannot understand personal accident because mostly they are, their thing was, and the group personal accident was not, majority of their, what they were afraid of when we interviewed was the snake bites. And they cannot correlate personal accident covers snake bite. You say, oh, snake bite is covered or something like that. The designing of the product, and I think this was touched very importantly by our UNDP executive, that in terms of designing, and the word, the connotation of the word where he can understand. And the third and the most important thing is that the consumer should have the skin in the game, because schemes after schemes have failed because governments might have subsidized it unless they understand and they contribute towards it. Because long term, you see even the most wealthiest of countries in Gulf, etc., are now enforcing that you have to take your own medical because there's a mismatch between supply and demand. The governments, when they come with, and India, some of the most agriculture policies have failed, and government here in India has started withdrawing because the insurance bill went skyrocketing. You would see a couple of years back, agriculture was the biggest producer of insurance premium. Now suddenly these state governments and etc. are there. The third thing which I also found was that uniqueness touching upon agriculture. Let's say, for example, instead of, when you go for an agronomist and you go for an individual farmer, etc., it becomes a logistical nightmare. What if you bring in reinsurers and the banks and the insurance company together, formulate a product for them, so that when a claim comes, they are, giving the loans to the farmers, and straight away, the benefit can go to the farmers. Otherwise, as he rightly says, agronomist in agriculture is one of the most difficult insurance to underwrite. When you plant the seed, then sowing, and then there is weighing, etc., how much production, etc. We are going too much into the logistic details. We need, in order to see that we can capture more of this thing, we have to, come towards a more workable solutions.
Thank you, Mr. Ravi. To touch on the last question, which was, are these gaps related? I would have a special request for Dr. Anselmi to wrap that question up for us with a bow, please.
I mean, the unfortunate truth is they are related, right? Nothing works in isolation. And when a problem is allowed to stay for a long time, it festers, right? It gets bigger. It creates more. It's like when you suffer one type of disease and you don't treat it. We have been speaking about image and trust, for example, for the past 2 decades, that we have a challenge of public perception towards insurance. What is the concrete solution that we have as a market for the last 20 years that address that problem? Tell me. Awareness. Since when I was a student, we have been speaking about the problem of awareness. People don't understand insurance. And awareness is part and parcel of the cause for the negative perception. Something is just because people don't understand, right? We had recently, there was this famous issue in the social media between Jubilee Medical and one famous lady, right? Diva. You know, I've paid my money, I was not sick for the whole year, you know, and then when it expired, I went to the hospital with an expired card, and she's complaining, like seriously bringing in the president, right? So now you'll have the public getting that negative image of the industry, but it's because we have not solved the problem of awareness, right? And it's not a new problem. We have had it for so many years. We don't take account of the cost that as an industry we are incurring for not solving this problem and how they are festering into new problems. So there is where we need to put our heads together and say we need to bring solutions which really work and address these problems completely.
Thank you, Dr. Anselmi. Allow me to say some parting remarks for the panel discussion. If I can summarize the key takeaways I've personally observed from the three gentlemen. So number one, there's no one fix for all problems. That's number one. But also, we've been pushed to think outside of the box. And most importantly, we've been called to collaborate. As Dr. Anselmi said, 100 or so spiders can stop the lion. So it is up to us to collaborate. And in the panel discussions, we've explored different avenues of how that can happen. And it is important for us to uphold our professionalism, as well as pushing for proper capitalization and incentive and research and upskill, trade upskill. So thank you very much. This marks the end of our panel discussion. Good afternoon to everyone.
Rounds of applause for the panelists. Just stand here. Just stand for a picture. Stand for a picture. I thought the moderator should be in between. Yeah, gentlemen, be a gentleman. Yeah. Thank you, the moderator and the panelists. Now, wait, I will invite Mr. Paul Sebo. Can you just come and give a token of souvenir? Yeah, Sebo. No, come with your, that is the tag. That's why you are here. Why do you remove it? Oh. Okay, for the moderator, you guys are very privileged to be getting an award from the president of East African Brokers Association. The moderator, yes, Madam Zekela, congratulations for job well done. Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Then the doctor himself. Hey, this panelist is of doctors, Dr. Ravi. I said we need to do something. Eh? There are so many doctors around. Thank you so much. We can walk down the stairs. Thank you. You can take your Dr. John, Dr. Paul. Ladies and gentlemen, this marks the end of our first panel discussion this afternoon. And before I go for the second discussion and the last, I know you guys are tired, but not tired. I know you are full. I don't want to bore you up. I said we have the session for sponsors. Nevertheless, we have to do it because this is what they are the reason we are here. If we don't do it, maybe next year they may not sponsor us again. Or what do you say? Tanri as the main sponsor, just 1 minute. I was told you are only coming here to take a picture with a microphone. Tanri, the session for sponsors, Tanri as the main sponsor for an award. Hey, I saw Tanri here. Or we can even do it in the evening if they are not ready. I saw Mr. Tanri seems not to be around. Allow me invite the only broker sponsoring gala tonight. Oh, it makes our work, other than it makes our work very easy. The broker is there. Allow me invite Mr. Magabe, Sanlam Alliance.
Dar es Salaam, the haven of peace. Tanri has become a dependable security in the local market.
No, not for that
to
now.
become one of the most profitable reinsurers in the continent.
This is their time to speak.
And talented Tanzanians.
Please, go with the flow. Mr. Julius, I don't know whether you're going to speak for the live or general or both.
I'm speaking for all.
For all, thank you.
Yes, good afternoon, colleagues. President of TIBA, Madam Elinipa Elias, your entire governing council and organizing committee for this 9th annual TIBA conference. On behalf of Sanlam Alliance Tanzania, I would like to congratulate you on organizing such an insightful conference yet again, and to commend you for the ongoing effort you're making to drive insurance penetration in Tanzania. As Sanlam Alliance, we remain supportive of the broker fraternity. We know that you're at the forefront of the growth of the insurance industry. We all know that you command the lion's share of the business that is driven in the country, and therefore you play an integral role, even in terms of driving the the theme that we are speaking about today of bridging gaps for a resilient future. I know Mr. MC has given me a very few minutes to speak. It is our first audience, public audience, as Sanlam Alliance Tanzania. Most of you would be aware of our previous names as Sanlam Life Tanzania, Sanlam GI Tanzania, Jubilee Alliance Tanzania. We have since rebranded from 1st of September. We now have Sanlam Alliance General Insurance, which was formerly Jubilee Alliance, and we now have Sanlam Alliance Life, which was formerly Sanlam Life Insurance. So we thought it's important to make this clarity, especially to the broker fraternity, which we work with on a day-to-day basis, but more importantly, to let you know what that means to a market like Tanzania, where two giants come together to form a joint venture. Sanlam Alliance is, just to give a bit of background, is a joint venture between Sanlam of South, the leading non-banking financial institution in Africa, and Allianz of Germany, which is a global and leading insurer player. What that means to you as the broker fraternity is that you now have an entity or in the insurance industry that gives you the best of both worlds. And therefore what we can assure you Sanlam Alliance Tanzania, backed by the support of our strong, parent company, is that just expect unparalleled, service and match service in terms of what you can expect going forward. But more importantly, you can be assured that we'll remain supportive to the broker fraternity at large, but to TIBA as well. You can expect to continue seeing us in terms of supporting your future conferences and future initiatives aimed at us jointly growing the Tanzanian market, growing awareness, and more importantly, bridging the gaps that you're talking about here. And with those few words, I want to say thank you again to TIBA and congratulations for a well-organized conference. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Sanlam Alliance. Thank you, Sanlam Alliance. And I've given you more time because of the new arrangement. Allow me to invite Heritage. 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 After Heritage, Meticulous, Newton, then IC Lion. Just a word. This is Dr. Manasseh. It's only the podium of doctors.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, doctor.
Oh, I thought it's still morning. I just want to check whether everybody is awake. Now I can tell that everybody is awake. Good afternoon. On behalf of Heritage Insurance Tanzania, we wanted an opportunity to show that we do appreciate the work that our broking fraternity does in Tanzania. And there was no any other way than partnering with TIBA through this conference. Therefore, we would like to sincerely thank the broking fraternity and the country for the support that you have rendered to Heritage Insurance Tanzania for many years. And I can assure you that we will continue being innovative enough and be able to support you in the best way possible. We appreciate your feedback, which contributes a lot to actually making us better and be able jointly to serve the insuring public out there. I would like to sincerely thank you on behalf of the board and my colleagues in management and the entire staff of Heritage Insurance for the support which you continue providing to us. Asanteni sana, enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you, doctor, and thank you, Heritage, for doing it. Thank you so much. Newton. Dr. Nelson. Oh, sorry. We have to. Nelson, Jabir, and I, we must be doctors next year. A minute, please.
Thank you, Dr. Jared. Good afternoon, everyone. President of TIBA, Governing Council, Insurance Broker Association presidents from different countries, good afternoon. I'm here on behalf of Newton Insurance. First, to thank you for the work which you've been doing as broking fraternity to our market. Your work really has been commendable, and we have seen over the years you getting into other levels. And this conference being one of the outcome of that. Newton Insurance is a business which has been in the market for more than 16 years. And recently we have rebranded our name. Before we were called UAP Insurance, but now we are called Newton Insurance. So we have a new jersey. And one of the reasons which really forced us or motivated us to change was that we were trying to look on how we can provide local-oriented solutions. And so we believe now as a company, we are more focused on the local market in providing local solutions. And I think with me, I wouldn't want to go without introducing my team as well, who joined me today. With me, we have our COO, Nicholas. I think he's somewhere there, if you can. And we have our broking officer, Gladness. So this is our presentation today, and if you have any question, any qualification about Newton, we are here to assist you. And as we say in Newton, with you at every turn. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Thank you, Newton. We hope next year to see you more and more supporting TIBA. Meticulous. Then after that, ICA Lion. Aurelia, you're around?
Habari za mchana, ningependa kutumia lugha hadhimu ya Kiswahili. Kwa majina naitwa Ramadhani Kashkash Abdalla, meneja maendeleo biashara Meticulous General Insurance Company. Ningependa kutoa shukrani za dhati kwa TIBA on behalf of Mr. Sunda Nayak, our CEO. Kwa bahati mbaya amesafiri nje ya nchi kwa kuweza kuwa na sisi leo, lakini tulikuwa tunataka kutoa shukrani za dhati kwa TIBA kwa mchango wanaotoa katika maendelezo ya bima, lakini vile vile tunataka kutoa shukrani kwa wote ambao wanaendeleza soko la bima, insurance agents, insurance brokers na madalali wengine wa bima. Na ningependa kutoa angalizo moja kwa wale wote ambao wanafanya biashara, wanafanya business na Meticulous Insurance Company. Tunawashukuru sana sana sana, lakini vile vile tunataka kutoa ombi kwa wale wote ambao hawajathubutu, hawajajaribu kufanya kazi na sisi Meticulous General Insurance Company. Tunataka mje kufanya kazi ili muweze kupata huduma yenye weledi wa hali ya juu. Kwa vile sitaki kuchukua muda mwingi sana, ningependa kuwashukuru sana TIBA na sote tuliohudhuria katika tamasha hili. Asanteni sana.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. ICA Lion. One man, one job. Any ICA Lion team? Lusakelo? Wamekimbia. Yaani nimegundua vijana wanakuja conference tu kula bata. Wako nje. ICA Lion, any ICA Lion team around? Come. All the 15 are gone. Hakuna atakayerudi kwenye conference next year. Afadhali nichukue dereva aje hapa atakaa. Vijana wanajifanya wanafanya biashara tu. Team, thank you so much. TIBA, sisi ndo simba wa bima. Sisi ndo simba wa bima. Why do we support? Because we have the strength, we have the vision, and we can bridge the gap. That is all we can do. And we started small, we are growing big and big and big. And sisi, we roll. In the next 1 or 2 months, we've already registered our trademark of Simba wa Bima with Brella and Kosota, and it is out. We will invite all of you for a big launch of Simba wa Bima. Simba wa Bima oye! Nimesema Simba wa Bima, sio Simba. Simba wa Bima oye! Thank you so much. Odan, please bring the next panelist. By the way, Yanga, congratulations. Jana nimeona amefanya kitu. Yanga oye! Yanga oye! Aya, Simba leo tunao jambo letu. Aclevia ensure tuna screen kubwa. Simba leo wanapiga watu 3-0. Back to you, Hodan.
Thank you, Gerard. I would like to call upon Fiki Mtomola to come on stage and facilitate for us the second session.
Thank you so much, Hodan, and Simba Wabima. Good afternoon, delegates. I know I'll be sitting between you and your lunch, so it'll be very, very quick. It's a great honor to be moderating this afternoon session on innovation and knowledge gaps, a subject that goes to the heart of resilience, relevance, and results. As we gather under this broader theme of bridging gaps for a resilient future, we do so at a very turning point where Tanzania has recently launched a very ambitious Tanzania Development Vision, DIRA 2050. This is a national commitment to become an advanced, resilient, inclusive, and a very competitive economy. Imagine a Tanzania with an economy of $1 trillion by 2050. An industrial base, but also a developed agricultural sector, and an average per capita income of between $7,000 and $40,000. Imagine what are we going to do as an insurance industry with this development. It envisions a country with smart infrastructure, dependable energy, strong digital systems, and most importantly, a foundation built on technology, innovation, and human capital, as we are anticipating a population of 140 million. To make that vision a reality, innovation can't be an option, and knowledge gaps can't be tolerated. That's why today's conversation matters. As an insurance industry, we have a role to play because we are risk architects. We are enablers of investment, of health, of infrastructure, of entrepreneurship. We are part of the invisible engine that allows the economy to move with confidence. Why does innovation and knowledge gap matter? Imagine today's insurance penetration remains under 2%, with a contribution of less than 1% in the GDP. Imagine agriculture. I'm glad the previous panel touched about the agriculture contribution. The agriculture sector contributes 30% of GDP to the national economy, but it contributes less than 1% to the gross underwriting premium. Why is that gap? When we touch at mining, we see it contributes around 10.1% in the GDP, but where is this premium? Oil and gas contributes about 14.4% in the GDP, but that does not reflect the same in the insurance sector. Why this much gap? Our panelists will unpack it today. DIRA 2050 depends on knowledge-based economy, which means as an insurance industry, we must train and retain insurance professionals who understand both local needs and the global risks. We must invest in data, technology, and digital platforms. This makes insurance accessible, affordable, and adaptable. We must innovate products for changing climate, a growing urban population, and an increasingly informal economy. And we must bridge the gap between what we know and what we do. Let's make innovation less just not about AI or blockchains, but about our mindset, models, and momentum. Let's make it about designing products for a farmer facing drought out there, for digital business facing cyber risks, but also a mother needing maternity care without really going into a debt. In today's panel, we are going to unpack what's holding back innovation in our sector. Where are the most critical knowledge gaps? Is it in products? Is it awareness? Is it regulation or distribution, and etc.? That will be unpacked in today's panel. How do we align insurance innovation with DERA 2050? In health, energy, infrastructure, industrialization, or agriculture. Let's use this space to spark practical ideas and real solutions. As Tanzania is moving forward, the question is, will our industry lead the way, or are we catching up later? Having said that, now let's meet the panelist who is going to unpack and shape the answer. We have Dr. Manasseh Kaoloka, who is the CEO of Heritage Insurance. Welcome, Dr. Manasseh, to the stage. Mr. Charles Zani, who is the Director of Technical Operations and Administration, Aris Risk and Insurance Solutions. And we have Mohamed Morauj, GM Milmer Insurance Brokers. Thank you. Thank you so much, my panelists on this session. I'm very honored to be moderating this session. And without wasting much of the time, I'll go direct to you, Mr. Manasseh, Dr. Manasseh, sorry. As I've mentioned earlier, Tanzania has recently launched a very ambitious DERA 2050 for growing the economy at the national level, but at the individual level as well. And one of the key areas focusing climate change, we have resilience, climate resilience, innovation, technology, and digital economy. You being an underwriter, how is the insurance industry strategy aligning with this ambition in terms of innovation, inclusion, and resilience? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Let me also thank TIBA for the invitation to be on this panel. This conversation over the alignment of the industry strategy and the Tanzania Development Vision DERA 2050, it's a question which, as mentioned by Madam Moderator earlier on, we should keep asking ourselves as an industry, so that we should be able to align to the direction which the country is actually taking. As we all know, that the Tanzania Development Vision 2050 aims for a couple of things. One is a prosperous, just, inclusive, and self-reliant Tanzania. This is anchored by three main pillars. The first one is to create a strong, inclusive, and a competitive economy. This objective enhances competitive, transparent, and predictable business and the investment environment for both local and foreign investors, fostering strong, inclusive, sustainable, and a resilient economy. The second pillar talks about human capabilities and social development. This one drives an objective to promote, as mentioned earlier by Madam Moderator, a well-being and a productive society equipped with essential knowledge, skills, competencies, and motivation needed to create and also compete at a national, regional, and global level. The final one, colleagues and ladies and gentlemen, it talks about environmental integrity and climate change resilience. This one, the main objective is to achieve the development that safeguards environmental and ecological integrity while enhancing low carbon and socio-economic resilience in the face of climate change. Why did I take time to actually outline these pillars and their respective objectives? If you actually examine them, you will discover that there is indeed an alignment between the direction which the industry is taking, and this I'm referring to the strategic direction, and also the direction DIRA 2050. If you talk about innovation, looking at the first pillar, you cannot talk about fostering economic growth without a better insurance industry. Having talked about, a lot has been talked in terms of the product development which is happening in the industry. Most of these new products we see in agriculture and to some extent on the climate-related risks, these are actually driving the very same issues we would like to see being achieved under the DIRA 2050. If you talk about the life, healthy, and social protection mechanism, which enhances accessibility to medical and the social services, which actually includes societal well-being. The other thing that is also being propagated in the 2050 vision is to make the country active player on the carbon credit market. The question I'd like to pose to the industry is that are we active enough to create corresponding products? The other aspect, which is also centered on the DIRA 2050, is an issue of technology and digital transformation growth. The country has made it clear where we should go in terms of technology and the digital transformation. As you are aware, those of you who are familiar with our regulatory framework, you should be aware that TIRA a couple of years ago launched a digital platforms regulatory guidelines or regulation. And I must say that this could be amongst a few countries where we've got a clear direction and guidelines in terms of how we handle our digital transformation journey. And with this one, we must appreciate our commissioner, the Commissioner of Insurance, Dr. Bagawe Sakwari, and his team for actually championing this one. And following that, you must have seen in the market that there's a lot of insignificant digital transformation happening, either by insurance companies, brokers, agents, and also bank assurance partners. This one is helping on onboarding or servicing and also processing our claims. Recently, I've seen Panasonic trying to work on their digital platform. Over and above that, there are also third-party platforms which the industry is actually working with. For example, Vodabima and also Bima Sokoni. Above that, we also have the integration of the industry technology and digital platforms which are linked to various government agencies. and also which includes the TIRA itself, and the insurance industry, and also banking system, and also mobile money operators. What that does is to set a stage for a significant digital transformation, which is also in line with the direction which DIRA 2050 is talking about, and we must also congratulate TIRA for that. If you look under inclusion, the expansion in the microinsurance, agriculture insurance, which has been discussed earlier on, all these put together, they're actually driving the aspect of inclusion. For example, again, here with the market direction of the drive to grow the GDP contribution to 5%, and also grow the numbers of the adults being serviced with insurance products to about 50%. All these is actually expanding on the accessibility of insurance, and also support financial inclusion. And that is not only being done to drive growth in the urban cities, but also trying to drive the same growth in the rural and the SMEs. The other development, which actually is also trying to drive inclusion, you must have heard from the area speakers, we do now have what you call Universal Health Coverage Act of 2023, Tanzania Insurance Agriculture Consortium, and also the Energy Consortium. All these are actually helping to drive the same inclusion. Recently, ATI is working on a research on the small to medium mining industry operators to actually see how best we can actually service them. Again, that is moving in the right direction to bring in some inclusion. Moving away from there, recently, the government of the United Republic of Tanzania and the Revolutionary Government of Zanzibar, my apologies, enacted laws requiring foreign visitors to obtain inbound travel insurance locally. What this has done is actually to bring in the much needed premium in the local kit versus actually placing that outside the country. And finally, on the resilient space, insurance by nature and by design is intended to actually deal with the issues of resilience. There are so many risk transfer solutions, infrastructure, which actually target some specific sectors, as I talked about. If you talk about tourism, if you talk about the blue economy, which actually provides the shocks to the economy and create a competitive and sustainable economic environment. I've seen one of the products in the market, which is called the Nanga Bima, championed by Akrevia Insurance Brokers, led by Dr. Anserim himself. Products like these, which are targeting middle-sized fisheries or fishermen, they actually move towards pushing the industry into the inclusion space. Moving away from that, you must have also seen some risk pooling arrangements. There's one which is being collaborated between ZEPRI, ECARI, UNDP here, which is actually trying to provide cover to the people living in the rural areas, who live in the areas which are constantly affected by conservation initiatives, which obviously bring in more or less like what you call human-wildlife conflicts. Aspects like these, they help farmers and also the pastoralists to give them compensation when there is a loss or damage occurring from the activities of the wildlife. And finally, if you look at the sectors which the DIRA 2050 has called transformative sectors, you find that those sectors, they align clearly very well with the direction which the industry is actually taking. On that space, you see sectors like agriculture, tourism, financial services itself, mining, Just to mention a few, don't forgetting the brew economy, you find that these have been selected because of the unique opportunities which are in those sectors. And I can assure you that if you go back to your desks and check the strategies which are being driven by insurance companies, most of them, they will have these as targeted markets. So, Madam Convener, let me stop there and hand over back to you. Thank you.
Evolving needs of our customers. And who are those customers? If you look at the findings of the 2022 census, almost 40% of the population are Gen Zs. I think when I say Gen Zs, you understand. Not in that aspect. I think Gen Zs are those who were born in the mid-1990s, probably 1995, 1996. Gen Zs, they are not using technology, but they are native in technology. You can see how they can, through TikTok, organize so many things. Now, when we are talking about insurance innovation, we definitely talking about technological innovations. Now, to fully appreciate the impact of technological innovation, we first maybe have to look at how the traditional insurance writer, like my friend Manasseh, you can approach him for a cover, maybe it's a financial guarantee. First you look at you and say, give me your financials, let me look at it. Then they use this to determine. This method, they are effective, and they've been effective, but they have some constraint of data. And the insurance is built on data. Now, the technological advancement is disrupting this. You find that the pricing now is dynamic. In traditional insurance, the method was to group homogeneous risk together. I will be a very good driver. I leave office at 5, straight home, sober. Manasseh will leave office at 6, go to George and Dragon. I don't know what he's doing there, but what I know, they sell liquors there. You go back home, midnight, and premium annually. Now, there are some technological tools, mainly AI, which is very famous, and the subset, which is machine learning. They are able to analyze data, identify pattern of the risk, and optimize price. So what will happen is the premium will be charged according to the behavior or according to the risk, the proper risk. You have been talking about climate change, which is disrupting this, looking at the historical data. With climate change now, you can't go to the past data to look at what used to happen. We have seen rains at times. We used to see those heavy rains in Dar es Salaam in mid of March up to May. But this year, March up to May, it was dry. So if you relied on the past data, then it will not be a right result. So what is happening now, there are those tools which are being to leverage assessment of the risk, and they will give you, they will look at the past data, and they will look at real-time data, and they will be able to make an underwriter price the risk properly. There are other technology like IoT, Internet of Things, and telematics, which is a game changer. Actually, this Tesla, they are using telematics. Their vehicles have got sensors, they have got cameras. Premium is charged monthly,
and is charged according to driving behavior. So the sensor there, if you drive, you brake it hardly, there's a safety score. You see your premium increasing. You do aggressive turn, you see your premium is increasing. You drive very fast, you see your premium increasing. So pricing has become personalized because of the technology, and we have like a digital platform, which I think in the market is now becoming very popular, and thanks for Bima Sokoni, who have got web aggregator. But we do have other technologies like blockchain and smart policies. Smart policies are self-executing policies, which again, they have changed everything. So when we are talking about innovation, we need to look at this new technological innovation. Unfortunately, insurance has been very slow in adapting the technological changes, but I think Paul said, if we are not careful, we will be left behind. There's a legacy of having a very old IT infrastructure, and we know that one of the things Dr. Manasseh said in the Vision 2050, the government have put a priority, they say it places ICT and digital transformation at the heart of InsurTech company. There's a company called InsurTech company. There's a company called Relativity, seek the insurer to do a profile of the customers. It will scan the website, it will go to the news report, it goes to the social media, and get the proper profile for a customer. So if you are always posting that you are eating burger, you are eating pizza, and Dr. Flora is sitting there seeing those information, she will definitely look at your medical cover and say, I think there are some of the elements here I have to exclude. I think there are some of the elements here I have to exclude. So you can see from assessing traditional risk, it has gone beyond and assessing non-traditional risk. And as I said, the insurance is about data, and since there is technology, they are able to analyze a vast amount of data at within. We have to look at how we can embrace this. I think I have to end it here. Thank you, Moderator.
Thank you so much, Mr. Zani. I check we still have gaps on the technology and innovation in the insurance industry. And as you rightly mentioned, how innovation is being applied in other markets, I believe we can also do better in this market and close these gaps. And Mr. Mohammed, you being a broker, what gaps have you or do you observe between insurer innovations and broker readiness to respond to these emerging risks?
Well, it's a very interesting question, Madam Fiki. As I've worked as an insurer for quite some time, and then I've transitioned to a broker. And the main thing that I've found is there is a lack of trust. Before even we talk about innovation, we talk about knowledge gaps, the lack of trust between an insurer and a broker in servicing a client. That is the biggest issue that we face in our industry. In terms of innovations, we can see a lot of insurers, they easily transition and they adapt to the market trends. But unfortunately for brokers, we are left behind. Very few brokers have the capabilities to advance, to have API integrations, to better train their personnel, but a majority of our sector as brokers are still left behind. Another issue is the transfer of knowledge. As we know, innovation does not come without knowledge. You have to be, I've read somewhere that you have to be crazy enough to discover something. But in my experiences, you have to also be knowledgeable enough to discover something. So these systems that we have with ITL, Bima Sokoni, they've been a great help, but as I said, there is still a lack of trust. The mentality of most of us brokers is that how safe is our data? As Brother Charles have said, data is everything in insurance. So once we find a way to tackle these gaps, I'm sure that our industry will soar to the stars, not just the clouds. In terms of knowledge, as the fellow panelist said, that the 40% of the census is Gen Z, and as we know, they are computer literate. I believe some of us with children can attest that a 3-year-old knows how to open Instagram and Snapchat compared to the parent. So there is a need of mentoring or reverse mentoring between the generation gaps. So we have the old-fashioned brokers who succeeded by word of mouth, and they feel that a face-to-face is a much more better approach compared to digitization. That is where the need for the younger generation is, that they should come in and, how do we say this, advice or what's the better word that I can use, convince our older generation to switch to digitization or to use it as an extra channel for penetration and to try and close the gaps. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm still with you. Do you think the collaboration between insurers and the brokers can support closing this gap of knowledge and innovation?
Yes, it can. I believe 100%. Insurers, as I said, they are very flexible in transitioning based on regulatory frameworks, based on government frameworks. And as brokers, we believe that if we partner up with insurers, and as I said, the moment we trust each other, we can do wonders in the industry. Our penetration in the GDP could even go to maybe more than, I'm just guessing, 50%. You never know. This is just a guess.
I'll open the floor for questions. I'll accept 3 questions before we wrap up the session. I see there is a hand on that side. Oh, why so many hands? There is a first hand there. Then we have another hand at the back, then Dr. Anselmi.
Yes, good afternoon. Yeah, my name is Nyarela, and I would like to pose a question to the first and the second speaker regarding innovation and looking at as an improvement for both processes, products, ideas, and services. I agree, like 2022, the regulator came with the circular to manage the innovation, specifically on IDP perspective. And of course, I know a lot of players, maybe about 16, into the platform. But I want to understand, based on the perspective and your observation, do you think in that direction, are we moving to the right direction, or is that kind of innovation that we're experiencing right now taking us to where we are supposed to be or where we want to be? Thank you.
The second question, that side.
Thank you, Margaret Ikongo from IIT. My appreciation to TIBA for the organizing committee. I'm addressing this comment not only to TIBA but I realize we are all players in this room. I'll do a quotation from the Bible, which is also in the Quran. When Moses was told by God to go and carry out a mission of saving the Israelites, one of his questions was, how am I going to face the Pharaoh? Because he knew that Pharaoh is bigger and he can't face him. And I've heard a number of pharaohs mentioned from the first panel, even this one. I've heard the pharaoh of technology, pharaoh of lack of capacity, a pharaoh of lack of collaboration, a pharaoh of lack of trust, a pharaoh of lack of actuarial, a pharaoh of lack of innovation, so many pharaohs. But I think the pharaoh we should be looking at is ourselves. We have a pharaoh within us, we are not addressing that pharaoh. I'll give an example. When IIT or Africa College of Insurance calls out for training, if they get 20 participants, they will be very happy. And we keep talking about a pharaoh of lack of capacity, pharaoh of lack of skill. That pharaoh is in us. Another example is when a free webinar is offered by Madam Chair, moderator there. You find out of 50 participants, 40 are from outside from Tanzania, 20 are from Tanzania. That is the pharaoh within us. Another pharaoh is that we step each other in the back. Insurers work against brokers, brokers work against insurers. There is no collaboration. Everybody goes to the regulator with a paper which benefits them. That is a stabbing in the back. That is a pharaoh. I think we need to. I think we need to address issues which are preventing us from addressing issues which are outside, which we are talking about. Lastly, I would like to say that collaboration is key. And collaboration is what is going to address the issue of trust. Unless you sit together on the table, agree on issues, trust is going to be an issue and nobody is going to go out. I'm not sure if there is any company, I'm not sure, because I haven't seen the budgets, which has a budget for research and development. And now you are talking about products, about going out. You need to have budget for research and development so that you can test markets, fail, and go again. I'm sorry if I'm being so blunt, but I think we need to address the pharaoh within. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mama Ikongo. As always, you straight to the point. Actually, you tell us straight to our faces what we need to do. And that is point taken, and actually, yes, collaborative is key. Question by Dr. Anselme.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. My question goes to Dr. Manasseh, and I'll request him to respond to this question as the Vice Chairperson of ATI, and secondly as the CEO of Heritage. We have known for maybe the past decade or more that Kenya was investing to train certified actuaries. So we don't need to tell each other the importance of actuaries towards tapping into the opportunity of the Development Vision 2050. What can we do as a market to develop our own, not only certified actuaries, but to develop the required competence in key pillars of the economy where we see potential. Madam Moderator was mentioning about the unproportional share of the portfolios versus the economic segments. So for example, agriculture, right? 30% of the GDP, but maybe you have only 3 operators who have really specialized there, you know, your Eka Africa and the other 2, right? So what can we do with these areas? We know that the manufacturing sector will be about 50% of the GDP come 2050. What are we doing to build insurance skills which can design these solutions? Because all these systems that you are mentioning, well, they are good progress, the regulatory frameworks. But if you don't have the drivers with skills to drive the buses, it does not matter how many buses you have bought, right? So as a market, what are the actual initiatives that we can do similar to Kenya and make sure that every year we have these identified skills, high potential portfolios and required skills, and build those areas? You will hear stories from the elders how in the past they were sent to Munich Re and spent 6 months to build certain skills in underwriting. I think Amir was one of the individuals in those old days who benefited from such capacity building exposures. So as ATI, I know you did a leadership program, but what can we do for these other skilled areas that we need expertise? Health insurance, for example, it's very complex. We don't have adequate people to deal with UHIC. That's the honest fact. We have 3 insurers operating health insurance. Can they deal with the 60 million people? Will they be able by themselves? Do we have adequate number of people who can bring the solutions to make universal health insurance promise feasible? What can we do?
One last question.
Thank you very much. Allow me to especially thank Madam Ikongwa. I remember her dearly for a straight talk. Please allow me to also offer a solution. And I believe we've talked about it before, and I'm not sure why we are not taking any move. Friends, we have to be self-regulated. We as TIBA, we have to deal with our own pharaohs, and I would say the trust, the competence, the know-how, and yes, we are known to be very lazy at learning. We don't like to go into these classes when they are called these seminars. Why can't we have one of the solutions that I would propose? That inside the self-regulation, as TIBA, every year meetings like this we do, let's offer awards for those who earn certain types of points by attending X amount of classes, so that we ourselves can groom our own. So for example, we talk about budgets. I don't have an incentive to create a budget for training or capacity building. Give me an award if I create one. Or let us give a challenge that every broker must have a benchmark, that you have to put some money for that. Let's create several regulations that will push the results, that will push the resilience that we are trying to build. Let's kind of stop talking about all that we already know, which is why we are not growing. Dr. Anselmi has spoken very nicely about repeating ourselves year after year. Why can't we focus a little bit more about what should we do? And it's not telling us what to do. Let's come out with some resolutions here now and today that if we want to get there, this is what we must do. And if you don't do, this is what will be the consequences. I can say let's even take the proposal to the commissioner that TIBA, the governing council, can create a panel of experts or technical experts within ourselves. Create some tests of people who don't understand the insurance they're talking about, that they are trying to advise people about. I'm sorry, I meet a lot of garbage that our clients know about insurance. Sometimes we ourselves go to see the same clients who have conflicting information, and the clients are confused. Who is telling the truth? I had a proposal that I got from two insurers. One is quoting for even $11,000, and another one is quoting for $1,200, a gap of more than almost $10,000. So there are so much knowledge gaps, there are so many garbages going on, and we CEOs who get to interview our young ones coming into the market, I don't know what they're learning in schools, but if you interview them, their knowledge into the real world about what insurance is all about, why are they in the insurance business, is very limited. So let's create our own internal control mechanisms where we can actually test, punish, and award good behaviors. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Peter, for that brilliant comment. And I believe our TIBA president and her GC have taken note for action. That's quite important, actually, to take it forward. And coming back to our panelists, Dr. Manasseh, can you tackle the questions? I see like all the questions were directed to you.
Thank you. Before we came here, we did agree with my colleagues that I will speak long and all questions will go to them. Yeah, but on a more serious note, let me go back to the question which was raised by Jamira, if I'm not wrong. The question of where are we on our digital transformation and embracing technology. As we all know, the journey, or rather the process of actually embracing digital transformation and technology is a continuous one. It's a continuous journey. They will not reach a point where I will say we have reached the maximum of actually achieving the top-notch technological or digital transformation. Why am I saying this? This is an ever-evolving landscape. It's an ever-evolving landscape. We see new technology coming up every day, and what we should do as industry is to actually jump onto that journey. And as I mentioned earlier on, there are a couple of initiatives which the industry has taken to embrace such technologies and digital transformation. Are we there yet? The answer is obviously no. There is quite a lot of ground to be covered. And what I can do is also maybe to join you and encourage each one of us here that we need to actually embrace technology and be able to develop the industry. A couple of things have been talked about here, trying to access the untraditional markets. For us to do that, we really need to actually use the technological tools available to access those markets. So I'd like to mention to you that it's a continuous journey because the landscape is actually always ever evolving. If you allow me, Madam Chair, I also wanted to agree with Madam Ikongo. We do have flaws which we need to deal with as an industry. There's a saying sometimes which we say the devil is out there, without looking at ourselves in the mirror and see how best we can actually improve the issues which we are grappling with as an industry. Training and capacity building, these are the key building blocks of any industry. Be it ours, be it in the banking or engineering, any other industry, these are the key building blocks. Therefore, next time we hear there's a training organized, either internally here, whether it's a webinar, I take it that the attendance will be much better than what we have actually seen. You also raised the question in terms of do we have companies with the R&D budgets? I've got a couple of CEOs here. I wanted to call upon one by one and ask. Mr. Jabir is looking at me. Don't worry, I will not to call upon you. But that question is quite very relevant because if you are talking about innovation, inclusive, and also being resilient, for us to respond to the demands of the insuring public, which again, they are also ever evolving. We are talking about here the new and emerging risks, the cyber security risks, the climate change related risks, and we're also talking about the just ended the pandemics, and for sure there'll be one in the next future when I don't know. So for us to respond effectively to such kind of environment, Madam Ikong, I'd like to agree with you that research and development is a key issue. I did mention in my submission earlier on that we are warming up to that aspect. There are some companies which I know that they have now started allocating some resources to research and development. I would want to single out, for example, Tannery. They do have a budget for actually research and development. Therefore, if the industry would like to actually benefit, that's something we can actually leverage on. So there are a couple of companies which are actually having the research and development budget. Dr. Anselm, you raised the question and you partly answered yourself. What are we doing as ATI? I thought that question would direct it to my Madam Chair, Dr. Flora, who is sitting next, very close to you. But because of actually pointed at me, and I'll ask her to come in if I fall short, as ATI, we do have a strategic plan which runs for about 3 years. In there are things like capacity building in terms of training. Have we gone to the extent of developing the actuarial skills? I would like to actually say that much as we are focusing on developing the capacity of the industry, these are one of the areas which we can actually look at. So you can be assured that there is a conversation at ATI level which is actually looking at things like this. We've talked about the awareness drive here. Recently, ATI has actually partnered with the Africa Re to actually drive some awareness initiatives in this industry or in this country. Therefore, we were taking some steps to actually addressing some of the hurdles which the industry has. We are not yet there, but I can assure you that through conversations like this one, we should be able to make some meaningful progress. Let me stop there and ask my colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Manasseh. As we are wrapping up the session, Mr. Charles, do you have something to add?
Yeah, I wanted to comment because I think the first person who asked the question, he posed this question to both of us. Yeah. And I think if I correct his question, it was, are we going to the right direction? Which I think Dr. Manasseh intentionally decided to so that we get an opportunity to answer. My personal opinion is yes, as Dr. Manasseh said, it will take time, but for information, there are 2 companies in Kenya, I think. Kenya colleagues might correct me if I'm wrong. Pula and ACRI, which is stand for Agriculture and the Climate, I don't remember something enterprises. And I think they have started operating here. I think they are also using blockchain in agriculture where those contract, they are structured contract that if you meet certain condition in the contract, the payout to become directly. And this is one of those innovation. Second, my opinion is, I said, the immediate or the future market are Gen Zs who are tech savvy, who are tech native. They don't have time to fill a proposal form. The way we used to get proposal form having 3-5 pages of questions. nowadays there's this AI-powered chatbot. You know, you just ask questions, it answers, and the system collects information directly. So they will not have time. Actually, their demand will force underwriter to go to the right direction. Otherwise, if you do not want to change, I remember what happened to Nokia. Some of you maybe don't even know what is Nokia, but in the 1980s and the 80s, and I think early 2000s, it was one of the most big brand in terms of phone. But when this new technology of phone, digital phone, tunaita simu za kuparaza, sio? When iPhone started, I think in 2007, they thought that there is no way iPhone will take them out on the market. But what happened is in 2013, they were acquired by Microsoft. And the CEO said, we didn't do anything, but we lost it. So let's be careful. We should also not say we didn't do anything and we lost it. We have to do something. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zane. As we are wrapping up the session, Mr. Mohammed, I would like you to wrap up the session by telling us what one collaborative action can the industry take over the next 12 months to bridge the gap, the knowledge and innovation gap?
Well, I believe a collaborative action has already been given by my brother over there regarding CPD programs. It is a very, very incentivized program that can actually assist us in growing. I'm sure under Madam Elinipa, we have already seen some progress in TIBA, and for that I think she needs an applause on that.
Yes.
So I think in the next 12 months we can see a lot of the issues and the collaborative programs and everything that, and how do I say this, please? I'm a bit nervous. What's the word? Please help me. I'm trying to translate, please. Well, the suggestions that were given, especially by Mama Yetu and our brother over there, how to combat our inner Pharaoh and how CPD programs, I think mentoring as well, pairing between the old generation who have the initial knowledge or the true knowledge of insurance, pairing them with the Gen Zs so that they can learn from each other. So I believe those suggestions can really, really assist in the next 12 months, and I'm sure that we can see some growth. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I believe by the time we meet in our next TIBA conference, a lot of these resolutions would have been tackled on, and we can have the feedback on this one. As we wrap up, I would like to just have the few key takeaways. As an insurance industry, research and development is very key. We cannot run away from it. And training and capacity building, that one we just have to keep up with. We just have to have enough budget on it to make sure that our people are well trained. Insurance professionals, they do it professionally. But also technology and innovation is a continuous journey. So let's keep up innovating. Let's keep up with technology. And we know that the major group of customers are the Gen Z, as have been mentioned by one of the panelists. So to save these Gen Zs, we cannot get away with the technology, so we just have to keep up with it. And having said that, as we close up, I would like to thank you, my panelists, for that insightful discussion. That was very informative. Thank you so much. And as we leave the stage, I would like to leave you with a video which will show you as a nation, where are we heading? And as an insurance industry, what can we do to tap into that opportunity? The technology people, can you please play the video as we leave the stage, please? Thank you. Thank you.
Rounds of applause. I know they have a video, but allow me give them their awards before you play that video, as they will be going down. Are you the pharaohs? Are you part of the pharaohs or Musa? We've got another word. In fact, Mama Ikongo, today you've helped me. You have done my straight talk. I'm not going to do it. And Peter, you've done my straight talk. I'm not going to do it anymore at this conference. At ATI, we sat down, we formed a watchdog. Is it working? The watchdogs are the pharaohs. Look at the seats around here. We are more than 300, but how many here? That seat is vacant. Where are they? Oh, those are the panelists. Yeah? They are the pharaohs. These are the pharaohs. They are not here. They don't want to listen. So they go out, they do their own things. I think this discussion has been a very good one. But for the last 9 years, we've been discussing the pharaohs. What is the solution? Don't tell me now. This is the 9th edition of TIBA. IIT started it, the Agency Association. They've started their 3rd year. They speak the same things. Insurance Day is on the 49th year. They speak the same thing. What is the problem? What is the solution? Tell your neighbor, you are the pharaoh. Change. We Mama Ombudsman, mbona umwambii? Yes, you are the pharaoh. Change. Yes, we can give our panelists and moderators their souvenirs. Thank you. It has been a very good, just in between. Yeah. Oh, Charles, you're a gentleman. Eh? You're a good broker. Thank you so much. It has been a very good discussion. Oh, Mendes. Next time you come from Rwanda, you need to come with so many people like you, right? I want to help you. You are a good dancer, I know. And I would want to dance with you tonight.
Thanks for the collaboration.
Thank you. Just in between for the good pictures, and you will give them. Thank you. Mohammed? Oh, very good. Very good discussion. I didn't know you were at MUA. Dr. Charles Zani. Yeah, you have to be a doctor. Thank you. Charles Zani, these are the gurus of the market. Dr. Manasseh Kauloka. Thank you so much. I can release you. We will surely play the video as I finish few announcements. Polly. Another rounds of applause for the panelists. They've really done a good job. I was just thinking maybe we could have more time. I think there are so many issues here. Maybe, Madam President, why don't we just have one day for this discussion? Yeah? It could help. Because I know there are so many questions coming, there are so many good suggestions coming from the audience. But the time is, maybe we need to improve. We have only two panel discussions for the day, but why don't we have one full day? I wish CRDB Insurance Brokers will sponsor one in Dar es Salaam and call us. Where's my friend, Mr. Wilson? The fastest growing insurer. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Where sio Farao? Kwa sababu mpaka sasa hivi upo. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give our lady just a small announcement before I do wrap-up announcements. Madam Elizabeth from IIT. I don't know whether you know this beautiful lady. Madam Elizabeth from IIT, the face of the Insurance Day. Karibu.
Thank you, Mr. Jared. TIBA President and the Council protocol has been observed. Good afternoon. First, I'd like to appreciate the honor of speaking to you today and warm greetings from IIT. Without moving forward, I would like to congratulate TIBA for a well-organized event and successful. Congratulations. I would like to also thank each one of you, individuals and companies, for all your support to IIT and all IIT-related activities. You're all putting a mark in our market. I stand before you today to inform you that IIT is embarking on a journey on membership drive, and we'll be in contact with you all in reaching out in your offices. Seated here, all of you in different positions and statuses, but we have one thing in common, and that is building and shaping the future of insurance in Tanzania. And this can only be done through continuous growth in knowledge, ethics, and professionalism in order to remain competitive, relevant, credible, and impactful. To achieve this, we need to come together in high numbers to create an industry we all envision. The power of IIT lies in its people, and that means you today. All of you seated here today, IIT needs you. So I believe there is power in numbers. So I welcome you all to join IIT as members. Also, as well aware, IIT conducts several training sessions, and we do appreciate all those that have been attending and encourage the rest to do the same in order to sharpen our professionalism and raise standards. As we have had, one of the pharaohs today is capacity building. So we welcome you to all attend all our training sessions. This year yet, IIT will be conducting another event, the CEO Summit, details of which will be communicated in all of your offices. So we come again to request your support once again in making this success for the future of the industry. As the saying goes, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together. Therefore, today I call upon all of you for us to go together so that we can go far through the insurances for Tanzania and be recognizable, empowered, and connected. Without further ado, I would like to thank the President of IIT, Mrs. Margaret Ikongo, and the Governing Council, and all of you today, as well as TIBA. Thank you. Gracias.
Wow. Kiingereza kimenyooka. Somebody was asking what the meaning of IIT is. Institute of Insurance Institute of Tanzania. Insurance Institute of Tanzania. And she's the face of Insurance Institute of Tanzania. Our able president, Mama Ikongo. Just stand up. They want to see you. The president. The pharaoh, why are you sitting very far? The presidents are sitting here. Now that you are a pharaoh, you should be sitting in front. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for that announcement. And please, IIT is for all of us. It brings agents, brokers, underwriters, reinsurers. It's a good thing to do. Allow me appreciate, for the first time I've seen all the reinsurance brokers attending this conference and supporting. Reinsurance brokers, please give them rounds of applause. And they are here. If you are a reinsurance broker, please stand up. Reinsurance broker, I've seen Lighthouse, I've seen Arisiri, I've seen Minevari, I've seen, wow, Afro-Asian, Skyri, they are all here. We really appreciate. I've seen this and I think it should never go without appreciating. And by the way, the reinsurance brokers are really shaping the knowledge in the industry. If you look at them, they train very well. They collaborate with the reinsurers and train. And I think that is the gap that we are looking for. Please continue helping us. And I know some of the reinsurance brokers who have taken very young people in the highest capacities. Imagine you've been working in an insurance company for the last 10 years and you are claims assistant, and somebody goes to an insurance broker and tomorrow he or she is a manager. What do you think? There's an issue somewhere. That is maybe the insurers, maybe leadership. Are we the Pharaoh, Dr. Manasseh? Yeah, we are the Pharaoh. We accept. I accept we are the Pharaoh, so we need to mend fences. Ladies and gentlemen, this marks the day, the first end of the first day. And we are breaking for late lunch, and we are breaking also for the evening. I want to have few announcements. Our gala dinner, sponsored by ERS Insurance Brokers, will be held at Serena from 6 to 10 p.m. Because Serena is a resident hotel, there are also visitors over there, and we don't want to interfere with their program. So we need to start early and leave early. The regalia tonight is traditional or cultural. I can see Mr. Peter, you're laughing. You will be the chief judge for the well-dressed for the occasion. Abdul tunachukua na hii tena kama kawa kama Kenya. Let me repeat, there is a whooping award for the best dressed for the occasion. So please come well dressed for the occasion. It will be traditional or cultural regalia. Show us what your tradition means. We are breaking for lunch, and the panelists, the East African delegates, the CEOs and the moderators, your lunch will be served at the main restaurant. So please, you will follow Madam Nindiu. Where is Madam Nindiu? Yeah. Then we don't want to do a very big queue, and I was being requested by the organizers that we go batch by batch for lunch, if that fits you. So ushers will be picking you from the table so that we go and take lunch from now. Buses will be ready to drop you to your hotels, and then we'll also be ready to drop you to the gala dinner immediately after lunch, late lunch, and from your hotels. Tomorrow's session will be very short, starting from 9 o'clock. Let's arrive here early. Tomorrow afternoon is free. Then in the afternoon, in the evening, there will be a barbecue and karaoke, sponsored by, of course, the one and only Simba wa Bima. Simba wa Bima oe! Kama hujawahi kuona simba ananguruma, basi wewe kesho njoo uone simba anavyonguruma. Don't plan to miss our gala dinner tonight. Don't plan to miss the barbecue tomorrow. Bon appetit. Obrigado. Thank you.
Conference ya tiba. Tuna ofisi za kikanda kule Zanzibar, Mwanza, Arusha ambazo zinahudumia kanda za maeneo yale. Sanlam Allianz Life tunauza bima za mtu mmoja pamoja na za vikundi au kwa makampuni kwa ujumla wake. Nipende tena kuwashukuru sana Tiba, na tutazidi kushirikiana katika conference hii na conference zijazo ili kuweza kutengeneza future ambayo ni resilient.
Kila ahadi huanza na mwanga wa matumaini. Kwa zaidi ya miaka 60 tumetimiza ahadi yetu. Kutoka kizazi kimoja hadi kingine, kutoka vyanzo vidogo hadi vikawa ndoto kubwa, tumekuwa rafiki na mshirika wa Afrika. Kwa sababu unapotoa ahadi, Britam tupo kuhakikisha unaitimiza. Britam, miaka 60 ya kulinda ndoto na matarajio.
such a rush, my baby, slow down, come find your love. I'm hoping you see me, come serve it up. Loving when you stir it up, that body belong on TV. Oh, this feeling I can't hide. You're feeling up my mind, and I just don't know why. I just don't know why.